Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to Smith for what promises to be an exciting and energizing weekend. Together, we have a great opportunity to meet one of the world's most urgent needs: more women leaders. Throughout the weekend, you will see how Smith intends to fill that need, educating women through the world with innovative curricula, unique partnerships with organizations like CARE, Oxfam, and the US State Department, and a bold new campaign that we will officially launch tomorrow evening. Our promise to produce globally educated women prepared to lead at all levels of society is Smith's most important contribution to our world. I have said many times that Smith is a private college with a public conscience. That means that we teach our students to use what they learn in the classroom to confront the challenges of the day, to be active, involved citizens. It's what Sophia Smith envisioned when she founded Smith. She believed that by providing women a college education, their power for good would be incalculably enlarged. All of you, as alumni of Smith, manifest Sophia's vision every day. Each of you is a committed volunteer. You're using your talents, skills, knowledge, and wisdom to lift your communities in many ways, whether by serving on your local school committee, gathering signatures for an environmental initiative, or devoting your time to public service. You're committed to making a difference in people's lives. And that extends to our amazing students as well. Whether you've helped identify candidates for admission, encouraged classmates to come to reunion or to support the Smith Fund, hosted faculty in your hometowns, or spread the word about Smith, you've done much to strengthen our wonderful college. For this, I thank you. The commitment you have to Smith in your communities matches how I see Smith today, as an institution that is using its greatest assets and considerable resources for the betterment of society. This vision resonates deeply with young women. This year, we received 4,341 applications for the class of 2016. That's the largest number of applications in our history. Not only that, we had an admit rate of just 40%, making this the most selective admission year since records were kept. This is a justifiable point of pride and a profound reflection of the influence that Smith continues to have among young women seeking a global education for a lifetime of leadership. As more and more governments around the world recognize that women's voices and women's ideas are essential for their countries to thrive, they're turning to Smith to help them make that happen. I'm sure that by now most of you are familiar with the Women in Public Service Project, an exciting partnership among Smith, the US State Department, and our sister schools. The goal of this initiative is to increase women's participation in political and civic leadership 50% by 2050. Several Smith women, including Farah Panda, class of 1990, the State Department's special representative to Muslim communities, have been integral to creating this program. Recently, the project joined forces with the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, which is led by former US Congresswoman Jane Harman, class of 1966. Both Farah and Jane will be with us later this evening to share more about the program and our hopes for it. This project fits perfectly with Smith's long-standing commitment to motivate all of our students to use their education for the good of the world. When advocates for the new Asian Women's Leadership University sought a US academic planning partner, they turned to Smith, knowing of our rich history and the accomplishments of our alumni. Not surprisingly, 3 Smith women, including trustees Mona Sinha and Hunan Ku, are among its founders. I can tell you that it was a thrill and an honor to be given a blank sheet of paper and be told, design a university. Our recent partnerships with CARE and Oxfam America deepen our students' knowledge and provide new opportunities for them to use their skills to confront some of the world's most pressing problems. Collectively, these partnerships and programs point to the enduring power of Smith in the world today. Tomorrow night, we will unveil another new initiative, an ambitious campaign. I don't want to give too much away now, but I will say this. We have exciting plans to reimagine the liberal arts for the 21st century and great aspirations to become the college of choice for smart, talented, and ambitious women from around the world. That's a tall order, and your engagement and support is going to be key to the success of this campaign. Indeed, we would not be in a position to begin this effort were it not for the work, ideas, and generosity of so many of you here today. Already, many of you have made gifts to the leadership phase of our campaign, whether through the Smith Fund or through a larger commitment. To me, this says that you believe in Smith today and want a vibrant and secure college tomorrow. I am extremely grateful for your generosity. As some of our most dedicated volunteers, you're a force to be reckoned with. And now, more than ever, we need you to be engaged and supportive of the college that gave you so much and helped shape and make the women that you are today. You can help us in a few important ways. Be our voice in the world. Wherever you can, spread the good word about Smith, one-on-one and in the networks and organizations in which you participate. This is one of the most effective ways in which you can help Smith maintain its reputation as the leading liberal arts college for women in the world. Embrace our community. Smith is a rich and robust environment that's a touch point for everyone in this room. Reach out to your classmates, attend Smith events in your hometown, invite faculty to speak to your local club. More importantly, use the Smith Network. It's vast and strong and the best evidence of the real value of a Smith education. And lastly, make Smith a philanthropic priority. Your gift, no matter its size, allows us to accomplish our worthy goals and ensures that we're able to offer any talented, smart, and ambitious young woman who seeks a Smith education the financial aid she needs to succeed and to grow into the leader she was meant to be. This is an exciting time for Smith, and it's comforting and empowering for me to know that we have such dedicated and dynamic volunteers on our side. Your engagement is powerful and does much to strengthen Smith. I look forward to working with you in the coming months as we chart a course for Smith in the 21st century. More immediately this afternoon, you'll hear first the selected stories of several Smith volunteers who are making a difference in the worlds in which they live and work. Alumni Association President Lynn Fox will then share a bit of her own Smith volunteer experience and present some new tools we hope will help all of you in your volunteer work for Smith. Next, trustee Mona Sinha will lead a discussion with fellow trustee Janet Ketchum about her philanthropic journey, which I know will inspire us all. Once more, I want to thank each of you for your own volunteerism and philanthropy in support of Smith and other leading organizations. Women of the world are better for it. And I want to thank particularly the planning committee for this event, just sitting at these two tables, chaired by Mona Sinha, for the first event of what is going to be just a fabulous weekend for Smith and for you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a wonderful video. And I'm so delighted to talk to you a little bit about the tools that we have for you as volunteers, and as Carol said, to talk a little bit about my own volunteer experience. I wanted to start by saying that, as you know, things at Smith do change. And Scott Jim has changed since I was at Smith College. Another thing that seems to have changed, I think our president just told us that none of us we might not get into Smith if we were applying this year. But there's some things that don't change. You know, one of the things that's so important to me and to all of us, you all know this, Smithies have the biggest laugh in the room. Smithies are crazy smart. They always have a great idea. They're always harder working than you ever expected. And you, volunteers, are Smith's face to the world, our eyes and ears to the world, and you have helped already and will continue to help identify so many promising young women from around the globe and from diverse backgrounds and experiences that can come here and take Smith back into the world. Many of you serve as admissions volunteers to prospective students and their families. You are Smith personified, and I don't even need to say it. It's an extraordinary service, and it really works. We have enormously capable and talented young women because you put time in recruiting them. Your work for the Smith Fund, thank you all who are Smith Fund volunteers, raising money for internships, financial aid, curricular innovation. It strengthens the building blocks of the Smith education, and I always like to say it helps turn the lights on. Thank you so much for all of that work. Many of you are the glue that keeps Smith active and present in your regions, in your hometowns, through your club experience. I've moved around the country a little bit, and I've always joined the Smith Club first thing and have loved every club that I've been a part of. So all of us have different volunteer roles and provide different input and services and help to Smith, but one thing that stays common is our commitment to this amazing institution. Smith encourages leadership. And as a volunteer, as a student first, you leave here as a stronger, smarter, more capable person, but it happens as a volunteer as well. You leave here as a stronger, capable, more qualified person. And my own experience is that I began as a class fundraiser for my 20th reunion, and I have done a little bit of every job. And in every job, I have made wonderful friendships, and I've learned a lot. And in fact, I would say in my career, if my colleagues were to ask me, well, what were the things that you did for professional development? One thing I would say is I was a Smith volunteer. I learned a lot as a volunteer and as a board member at Smith and as a committee member at Smith. The other thing that has happened to me as a volunteer, and I know has happened to you all, and I hope will happen this weekend, is that it's a wellspring, it's a touchstone, it's a spiritual place. Small college campuses in America are sacred places. They were designed originally to be that. We have paradise here in our own sacred space. And I know that all of us have a place that we go to, that we remember something important, that it touches us emotionally. Go, put on your shoes and go do that. You know, your walking shoes. Spend some time in those places that reaffirm you, renew you, and remind you of just how fabulous your gifts from Smith have been. So Smith is not a place that stands still. And this is really an exciting time to be a volunteer for Smith. And I wanted to report to you a little bit about the fact that the association, the Alumni Association Board and the Smith College Board of Trustees have put a lot of time into thinking about alumni engagement during the past year. We've talked to many of you, either in person or by surveys, to ask what is important to you about your Smith experience? What do you need to know about the Smith of today? How you can stay engaged and connected. We also did some professional outreach survey work and compared our Smith alumni programs to programs of other prominent institutions. And as a result of that background work this spring, the trustees and the association board approved a strategic plan for alumni engagement. I'm not going to make you listen to the plan. You don't need to hear the plan. We want you to feel the plan. We want you to know it see it when it's at work. We are doing things like creating a special programming for first 10-year students out. We're going to provide more intellectual content to you in your either across your computer or in your hometowns. We're going to build more connections between undergraduates and alums, and I think we have undergraduates here who would probably be very happy to talk to you about their lives after Smith. Both the trustees and the association are going to continue to explore ways to strengthen your connection with us and ours with you, and to bring along the next generation, which is another great thing about Smith, being a Smith volunteer. In order to accomplish some of our great visions, we're making a change administratively, and we're elevating alumni relations to the president's cabinet. Woohoo! So you all maybe have noticed, and if you haven't, please do. We are searching for a new vice president of alumni relations who will work with Carol and her cabinet. There's a job description and available on our website. We're recruiting heavily. If any of you leave here particularly inspired, please send us your application. We're going to have a fabulous new employee, and we're all looking forward to that. Finally, let me just give you a little tour of your beautiful notebook or folder, Women for the World, with some of the tools that you can use this weekend and later to really help carry the message of Smith back home. First of all, we've introduced, I'm looking around to see if I'm still up there, or our new website. We do have a new volunteer website with a lot of resources, and you will be able to access that easily from the Smith homepage. There she is, good, it looks great. We have enclosed in all of your packets this beautiful yellow sheet that's called we're calling a personal action plan that you can use to jot down notes and phrases or messages, and you can take what you experienced this weekend home and think about how to carry the message to your friends and colleagues. You'll also find, let me read what comes next. We'll find this great booklet. Actually, when you read this booklet, if you're listening, you will notice that I have said some things that are in this booklet. It's a great booklet about how to talk about Smith College, and it's inspiring and beautiful, and it will be lots of fun to use. And then you also have this accordion-styled folder called Ways to Get Involved with Smith. And I like the format, actually. It's very fun. But read it. It's very, very helpful. You have a one-pager called Reflections from the President. That's a collection of quotes from Carol about topics like financial aid and global education. It's something you can use in discussions about Smith today. And I know Carol will be happy for you to quote her. And I think we all should read the written version of her remarks this morning, because they were absolutely fantastic. So please do quote Carol. And in addition to these tools, we have a special gift for you, a book by our fellow alumna Shirley Sagawa, class of 1983, who was quoted in our video. The book is called The American Way to Change: How National Service and Volunteers Are Transforming America. So we'll be well armed and hopefully excited, energized. We have time to renew yourself, to renew your friendships, make new friends, and absolutely enjoy this celebratory weekend. It is a fantastic celebration. And now I'd like to introduce two of my Board of Trustees colleagues, Mona Sinha and Janet Ketchum, and they are going to take us on a philanthropic journey. And they're both so great and wonderful that you'll love being along with them. Thank you very much.